say one word, not. We're one of the most gentle, forgiving, is this on? Is this on?
No,
Can
it
you guys-
doesn't sound like it.
I'm just being loud.
That's the
There you
problem.
go.
Did you guys all hear me say not?
Yeah.
It's worth repeating. We are the most forgiving, most loving, non-judgmental group I've personally ever been to. It's my pleasure to be here this morning to share my little personal spiritual thought with you this morning. It's been an interesting week. I came back from Mexico on Tuesday night after 12 hours because we had trouble getting through the border and so on and so forth. And I've been eating better this week, so I don't feel a tenth of the tiredness that I usually do under that kind of strain. But my spiritual thought for you this morning is, what must we do to see the divine in everything and everyone? It's not enough for me to just say the words, I believe that we are one. And for me, it sets the stage for my consciousness to step forth. To believe is one thing, to know is something entirely different. I believe that we are one and that there is no separation, and that stirs me to look for a thing. To ponder if this is so, because the appearance is so very much the opposite. I've always loved nature, and that's why I live here. And it serves me in a much holier purpose that my animals have been very, very sacred in teaching me. Such as my little kitten Marvin told me that the reason that he liked to go outside was because everything outside was so alive. And that got me to thinking, because normally I just took it for granted. I would step outside and I enjoyed the view and the sunsets and the rain and whatever was going on. But he led me to a feeling of sacredness that I hadn't recognized that I had experienced before. So this morning we went out to the street and I felt myself connected to all things, thanks to Marvin. And through the very air I was breathing, because the air certainly is in, around, and through us. But as I stood on the road outside of my house, I was listening to the hooting of an owl, and I felt the cool breeze blowing across my face. I could feel the moisture filling my lungs. I saw my cat, my dog, exploring, finding out what the news held in the grasses in the street from whatever had passed by the night before. And watching the trees and their lacy nakedness out there for winter, getting ready for spring, and the little green grasses growing, preparing for their seed for this year. With my feet standing on the ground, I knew that all of this was me. It's in me, as me, and through me. And there was no speculation about that. That was a knowing that I experienced right then and right now. But the interesting thing is that as I felt a part of it, it allowed me to also feel my divinity. And that's something that, from whatever past consciousness has gone through this planet and before, to feel divine was something that only a holy person, certainly not me, would be able to feel. And certainly not just everyday people, you know. We're divine. So that's what being out in nature does for me. Eckhart Tolle, last night I was looking at one of his things on website, and he said, to become more conscious in the now and allowing what is, and trusting that we have a loving, abundant, universal source. If we do that, the gentler life becomes, the less trouble comes our way. It is worth it many, many times over for us to practice the presence, especially in these uncertain and fearful times when the pitch for fear seems to be just howling up there. Remember, the fear stands for false evidence appearing real, and fear is in the ego land. In other words, it is something that could happen possibly in the future. But if you're staying right here and right now, you have all the information that you need, and there is absolutely nothing to be afraid of. It's all good, and it's all God. Thank you.